Alright, we had first the Queen of Cups, the Five of Swords, and then He Who Likes Fish. The youthful kid one. So now we're going to see what pops up next. Oh boy. Fishes and swords, oh my. Are we having shish kebab or sushi or something? Okay, we'll see what pops up next. Okay, we'll go with you. Okay. We have His Holiness the Pope. Okay, now this card can be very challenging to some people. First, okay. The Hierophant. Two things we see and two emotions we feel. Well, the first thing I see is an elder figure, a wise man. And he's also doing a pose somewhat like this. I'm trying to represent it just like exactly, but it's like his fingers aren't holding it. The two feelings I get a feeling of servitude and wisdom. So, now, this is not like the common depiction of the Rider-Waite-Smith version. The Rider-Waite-Smith version actually has a Pope figure in the middle with his hands raised high with his staff on the other. And he's in between two pillars, yes. But also in the Rider-Waite-Smith version, you have two disciples at his feet. Now, with this Hierophant, though, the Hierophant is a figure. He's a figure who likes to appease the status quo. Think of like a Pharisee, pretty much. They like to take the divine way of thinking and demonstrate it to the world, if that makes sense. They're strict about tradition, and they like to uphold it, and they like to preach it. So when it comes to when it appears in a spot of a specific reading, well, if you're looking into your work and finances, you may be getting pretty much, and also health, you may be getting a little bit pronged to actually start donating. You might actually be starting to invest in a religious donation. You may be starting to confide in donating or starting to work for a charity service. When it comes to communications and speaking to others, this is when it gets a little bit annoying. The Hierophant can become someone trying to talk to you about saying, is that what Jesus do? Is that what, God's watching, alright? He's pretty much like being over your shoulder like, I don't know if the Lord Jesus would like that. Or even worst of all, saying, I think what you should do is just donate more than 10% this time. Yeah, it could be that figure that's communicating you or trying to make you act more to the status quo. Don't do that. If you're challenged with fire, okay. You're going to be challenged by somebody who is going to be challenging your way of thinking and your faith and your sense of spirituality. They're going to be challenging you with it. So if you're a spiritualist like I am, you're going to have someone from the Christian side, Muslim side, it don't matter where, somewhere from a different belief system is going to come at you and challenge your beliefs. And they're going to question it. And they're going to bring on their tradition and try and hit you upside the head with it. But how you're supposed to respond is just keep it easy and be like, I appreciate you trying to share your belief system and try to have me understand it. However, I apologize. I want nothing to do with it. It does not work with me. I appreciate you, but thank you, but please skedaddle. Now, when it comes to emotions and water and love matters, this card can indicate a marriage. like a marriage of like hanky and panky and now make spanky. God. So it can be really good there, but it could also stress the situation of just like, well, if you're going to be devoted, you're going to be devoted. Remember, God doesn't believe in divorce. So that was another thing to think about. In regards to spiritual empowerment and whatnot, this is starting to make you think maybe reconsider listening to an elder figure, if possible, regarding your spiritual path and his knowing of your spiritual path. Now, when I mean elder, I mean someone who has been doing something related to your field or your spirituality for a longer time than you. Here's a good example. There's another YouTuber named Alberto Kennedy, who I love to death, and he's been doing this a lot longer than I have. Me going for him for advice, that would be a spiritual advice for the Hierophant, because the Hierophant, not only is he an elder figure, he's also someone who is much wiser and much more intelligent and knowing of the spiritual side. So your advice is to maybe consider going towards an elder figure who has been in the practice longer. Now, regarding magically, the Hierophant can be used as a card for protection. The Hierophant can also be used as a card to, well, if you want to be a little bit more on the restraining side, this card can be used as a card to detain a wandering love interest and have them stick with you. It also can also be used to promote peace and prosperity and appeasing the status quo within the world, like love thy neighbor and actually enforce it, if you want to do a spell working with that. And I mean, I cannot use his energy in reverse, because that's like the devil. That's like putting that as the devil figure. So I don't think there's any way for using it that way. But as a card, this card, once you understand it, it stands for tradition. It's not really that difficult to deal with, but it's just at first, even I was just like, who are you? The Pope? Huh. That's a little odd having it be in an occult-based book. But back in the day, he was known as the Pope, and then the High Priestess was known as the Popess. But that is the Hierophant, and we'll let you know who comes out of this hot red mess next time.